After many years of waiting, Universal has finally revealed details on the opening of Epic Universe, and with it, what annual pass holders can expect regarding pre-opening previews that no other guests will have access to, at least initially. But not all pass holders are happy about what's been announced. Let's talk about that on That Park Plays. Let's get into some of these details right here. Universal Orlando pass holders will be the only ones allowed to buy single-day tickets to enter the new park, which will feature special pricing. And those tickets will go on sale October 24, 2025, and be available while supplies last. I think we have more information on that specific portion. This is provided by Universal themselves. Special pass holder opportunity to purchase one-day dated admission to Universal Epic Universe on sale October 24th. Limit of 6 tickets per transaction. If you have more than 6 pass holders into your account, you will need more than one transaction. Ticket prices and availability vary by day. Restrictions apply. An allotment of tickets for all dates, including the week of grand opening, have been reserved for pass holders. That's key to note here. 1 day dated admission, non-transferable. And you can see the official announcement of this. So for pass holders, there will be options to buy single day tickets, but for everybody else, you'll have to buy into a multi-day pass option, which I think is still very good value, especially when you include Epic Universe in that. But again, it's a way to, like Marvin eloquently put, it's a way to cannibalize some of the business from Walt Disney World and load balance throughout the entire resort. I think this is obviously not optimal. It's not ideal. But you got to think, only 30,000 people are probably going to get into this park per day. What do you do? Marvin, I know you have mixed feelings on the pass holder portion of this.
I'm pissed.
No,
I'm like really
share the anger, share the rage.
I am supremely ticked off. I think we all kind of thought, everyone kind of assumed that Universal is weird with its annual passes. It's not a one size. It's not like Disney where you buy the annual pass and you have access to all the parks. You have to buy. So there's like a 2-park annual pass, which gets you into Universal and Islands of Adventure. There is a and then there's a 3-park one, which also includes Volcano Bay. By the way, I've had the 3-park one for years, and I've never been to Volcano Bay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I know it's a horrific waste of money, but you know what? I kept it. So we didn't know what was going to happen with Epic Universe. I think everyone kind of assumed, okay, they're going to roll out a new annual pass tier that you can upgrade to in order to go. But what we're seeing, I mean, the fact that annual pass holders can't go, that's going to be pretty terrible. I mean, because annual pass holders are your bread and butter. They are your most dedicated, loyal fans. They are the ones that keep coming even in the dry periods. And Universal is typically very kind to its annual pass holders. There's always an annual pass holder lounge. They do a lot of like annual pass holder stuff. So I'm not saying that they're like poo-pooing their pass holders. I'm just saying I hope this is, like, is this going to go on for a year? Is it going to be a year where pass holders can't get into Epic Universe? I don't know. Like, I was really looking forward to being able to go to you could almost kind of like, and I pride myself on my That Park Plays articles by trying to be very like detached and like I feel like in the article that I wrote about this specific subject, you can kind of feel my rage a little bit. But yeah, I was very, very upset by it.
It's hard not to feel a little bit put out because again, you are the extreme fans, and again, I mean, it's the same way why I got really irritated as a premier pass holder for the both coasts basically. For many years with Disney, I was like, you guys, you're continuing to dwindle the offering, and you're really hurting the value that you're supposed to be able to get with this thing, because you're spending, at that time it was over $2,000 a year. Sure. And that was a completely different conversation. There is no way in the world, folks, that I would give Disney $2,000 again for that, what they are offering now. Whereas with this, I can kind of see the point. They're going to have to keep the crowds down in this park to start with. They're going to have to figure out how to load manage this park. They will not have any experience with this. And again, another reason why they, absolutely they're going to have previews is because they're going to have to figure all that out on the fly. You can have all the queuing theory in the world and understand what your attraction run rate is for, optimal maximum, but theoretical maximum capacity is never achieved especially not right after a park opens. So, you know, optimal operation, you know, they're probably going to have more employees than needed at most of these locations initially, just to figure out how to staff them properly. And you're going to have pinch points in different areas that are going to either aid or hinder traffic in various locations. So,
that's the portal setup that I'm very anxious about, Culture, to your point. I've had criticisms of this before because it's
the arguments that I've been hearing are that it's very similar to the entrance to the Magic Kingdom and Disneyland, where you pass underneath the railroad. You know, and I'm like, that makes sense. Okay, I can accept that. You know, I won't think that'll be too constrictive or restrictive. I think though that you'll end up with you're going to end up with some locations that they weren't expecting to be, you know, traffic issues. And hey, look, where you put food merchandise carts in your pathways is another place where you can accidentally create some real problems. There will be remedies over the course of the next year to solve for those things.
Right.
But I'm going to say that initially for the first year, the restrictions are all about load management. So,
yeah, I mean, you have to contend with these issues somehow. And that is by, in some cases, putting restrictions on how many people enter, at least initially, in order to deal with some of those issues and rectify them as much as possible, while also providing a great experience to those who want to enjoy it. So it's supply and demand, and it's a lot of that. But they have to put a limit on this at some, in some way at some place. And I think they're doing that both with the multi-day ticket options and also limiting pass holders to having to buy a ticket. Rather than just adding it on to their pass. I'm sure they'll also adjust the annual passes upon the opening of Epic Universe in order to reflect their new offering here as well. Go ahead, Marvin.
We have an article specifically about the annual pass holder situation on that park place. It's the second link I sent you in the private chat.
Oh, okay. Man,
again, I told you it was a busy morning for me.
It's a busy morning indeed. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, Universal's Epic Universe will not be included in Universal Orlando annual passes for now. That's by Marvin Montanero. If you were looking forward to visiting Epic Universe more than Universal Orlando annual pass holders, the ability to travel to worlds of Nintendo, Harry Potter, and Dark Universe, How to Train Your Dragon, and more anytime they wanted was a huge drawing point for those who spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year to get constant access to Universal's other offerings. But it seems as though Universal will be keeping annual pass holders out of Epic for the time being, with the announcement that hit pass holder email boxes this morning. Quote, on October 24th, pass holders will have an exclusive opportunity to purchase single-day admission before it goes on sale to the general public. Universal said in an email confirming the worst fears of many that the new park would not be included at any annual pass tiers. Quote, allocating ticket quantities per day will be available for just pass holders. So yeah, it's kind of an impromptu reservation system on top of that.
Plus you're paying, it's an impromptu reservation system, and you're paying, probably well over $100 a pop to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's
which, look, you know what? And at the end of the day, I get it, because annual pass holder, the annual pass holder community for both Universal and Disney is huge in Central Florida. And there are enough. I think somebody made the point in the chat. There are enough pass holders in Orlando alone to flood Epic Universe on a daily basis. I understand why they're doing it. I am just selfishly annoyed by it. But also, did you see the thing at the very end though, where they said there will be an annual pass holder soft opening, and that will be something that they're going to be communicating within the next few months. So
just about to hit that part up. Go ahead, Culture.
No, I was going to say, and that'll be a great load testing thing. So there you go.
There it is. Yeah. There it is. That's exactly why they do it. The Comcast-owned company also noted that there would be soft opening opportunities for pass holders, specifically at Epic Universe, prior to the park's May 22nd, 2025 opening date. They said in an email that information on that will be available in the coming months. So they are kind of throwing you a bone, at least somewhat. Go ahead.
And yes, Vash, I understand this is the first of first world problems.
No, No, it's fine. Look,
at the end of the day, the ability to buy a single day ticket for Epic Universe is something that most people don't have. So, we are getting something out of it. I am just, I really anticipated being able to stream from there for that Park Place, being able to be there to cover things on a pretty frequent basis. It's, it's just that's not what's going to happen.
That's not what's going to happen. And I love how you include how, Volcano Bay is kind of a separate tier of annual pass. And so because of this, no one ever thought the company would include Epic Universe for no additional cost. However, it was believed by many that a new annual pass tier would roll out featuring the new park at a higher price. However, it seems that at least for now, that's not to be. I think they absolutely will. And I think Universal Dorks actually put it in the chat right here. Let me see if I can pull that up. I'm getting confused between the YouTube chat and everything else. Universal Orlando Resort has confirmed in the replies to the announcement on X that there are more options, including single day tickets for everyone and annual passes for Epic Universe are going to be announced later, closer to opening. So it's not to say that this stuff won't roll out eventually, but for the people who want to experience Epic Universe when it initially opens, these are the hoops that you're going to have to go through, which I think a lot of this stuff will be alleviated in the months after opening, but initially, this is definitely where it's going to be at right here. And look, I think Universal has handled a lot of this stuff as well as they can, and I think if this doesn't work out for them, I don't think they'll be afraid to pivot on a dime as necessary. Yeah. I think they would make those changes, and they're not like Disney where it's like, we're just going to double down, triple down. Universal hasn't really been like that.
Universal, more so than Disney, listens to the fans. That's why
true.
That's why you've seen such changes in Halloween Horror Nights from year to year. That's why you're starting to see more of a focus on original IP instead of established IP at Halloween Horror Nights, because they poll people. Universal is constantly polling, obsessively polling, more so than Disney does, because they actually want to know what you think. They want to cater the experience to you. They watch social media like a hawk to see when something like Little Boo or Earl the Squirrel goes viral, so they can actually incorporate it into the parks. They are always, and that's why I said for now in the headline, because I know eventually APs will be able to add on a tier for Epic Universe to their annual passes. That's going to happen. It's just a matter of whether it takes a year, whether it takes 6 months, who knows?
Well, and as you say, I mean, I think I would say it more simply. Even Universal as a theme park entity is more nimble than Disney, and they are capable of reacting. They're capable of reacting more expediently to those trends. And you're not wrong, Marvin. The amount of research that's being done for Universal in real time versus what is used to exist for Disney, it is definitely very different. And Disney's almost timid at asking questions of their guests now. This is how we ended up with more cruise ships is because of the way they were researching rather than maybe the exact need that they were going to have for it. Because a lot of people, I don't see in the future enough people getting passports or universal IDs, global entry things, whatever, so that they're able to travel on these cruise ships as much as Disney is trying to put them out there. And I don't care if you put them at foreign ports. The foreign interest in entities, they'll be a novelty, and then you've spent $1 billion that you can't afford to maintain. Those are my thoughts. But go ahead, Marvin. I'm sorry.
Look at a couple of years ago, somebody in the pumpkin themed haunted house snaps a picture of this little tiny jack-o'-lantern with a crooked smile and says on social media, "This is Little Boo." And it blows up, and Universal capitalizes on that and now has a multi-million-dollar merchandising juggernaut every fall in Little Boo. I have Little Boo merchandise in my house. I mean, like, all because somebody snapped a picture at social media. A squirrel was living in the Christmas tree at Universal, and somebody snapped a picture of the squirrel and said, hey, this is Earl the Squirrel. And now we have an actual walk around meet and greet character of Earl the Squirrel every Christmas. Universal. Meanwhile, Disney. Remember when the Gaston push-up challenge stuff was going on, and that one guy that was playing Gaston blew up on social media.
Yes.
Disney took that guy and basically made him like Tigger and Woody, and put the head characters on him because they didn't want that.
No, you can't have masculinity of any kind in anything around Disney, but that's an entirely other thing.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.